about the things I cook. You complain about the way I look. You complain about the clothes I wear. And you don't like my hair. You complain because I don't work. You say I'm a no good jerk. And then I go to work and you go berserk. Complain, complain, complain. You're always the same. You will never change. All you do is complain.
From the Spring Hill Toyota Traffic Center.
And we have an accident, Mobile Highway at Cherokee Trail in Pensacola. Slow-moving traffic as you make your way across the Bayway, heading from I-65 to the Eastern Shore. Add an extra 45 minutes of drive time. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report is sponsored by Straight Talk Wireless. Every now and then you find a deal that actually feels like a win. With Straight Talk Wireless, you get more and pay less. Now that's a good deal. No contracts, no credit checks, no surprises, all on Verizon's 5G network. Find it in the same place you've always found straightforward prices, exclusively at Walmart and StraightTalk.com.
If you see traffic trouble, call the Acadian Windows traffic tip line at pound 250, keyword total traffic when prompted. Acadian Windows, your hurricane protection specialists.
Now, here's your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, family. That's family. Enter it now at newsradio710.com. The Uncle Henry Show, weekday afternoons from 5 till 7.
Thank you for taking my call, Henry. I think every year I have to go for a complete physical, find out if I got cancer or whatever, you know, check you out. I got this new internal medicine doctor. After waiting about an hour for him to show up, he came in the room. Okay, Bill, complete physical. Take your clothes off. I said, okay. I said, where you want me to put my clothes at? Oh, just put them over there in a pile, man.
Message deleted. Press.
This is the Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM. Thank you. I appreciate you listening to the Uncle Henry Show. I really do appreciate it. Because if I were just talking like this and you weren't listening, then it'd be embarrassing for the family. Once again, here we are together, me and you, trying to figure out what is going on. What is going on? What has gotten into people in this world today? Maybe we can figure it out together, me and you. 251-479-2723, the telephone number. That's 251-479-2723. Email address, unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. That's unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. Got a lot to get into on today's Uncle Henry Show on this Thursday. Now, before I get into any of the different things that I've got lined up to talk about, and listen to any of the messages, I've been getting messages. A bunch of people have been sending me messages and stuff. Before I get into any of that stuff, today there was a ceremony held up in Montgomery, Alabama, the capital of the state of Alabama. This was what do they call this? The America 250 celebration, where the United States of America is celebrating its 250th anniversary this year. And so there was a ceremony today in Montgomery featuring Kay Ivey. Yes, the governor of Alabama. And I thought you might want to hear what she had to say. Kay Ivey spoke today. She stood I'm very proud to report that Kay Ivey seemed physically robust. She was able to stand on her own and make her speech about America and the state of Alabama in this 250th year. And she even had Randy Owen of Alabama. You may remember the group, Alabama, the country music group Alabama. Randy Owen was there to sing. And Kay Ivey seemed maybe even more robust than Randy Owen, which so good for her. Kay Ivey, health holding up. Let's listen together as she talks. Got Kay Ivey talking about both the United States of America and Alabama to an admiring crowd outdoors in Montgomery today.
Well, good morning, y'all. Thank you for being here to celebrate America. There's no state in the nation who does it quite like Alabama, and no one loves their country more than Alabamians do. I'm thrilled our patriotism is on full display this morning at our state capitol. Ladies and gentlemen, today I am proud to officially unveil this massive 250th edition of our Stars and Stripes.
There's a big flag up there. It's a big flag. She called it massive. It's big.
This flag will hang from the columns of the Capitol this summer as we prepare to celebrate America's 250th birthday on July the 4th. And I invite...
And you know, I'm going to miss her accent. I know you. I don't know what you think about Kay Ivey. Maybe you like her, maybe you don't. Or maybe you're lukewarm, whatever it is. I will miss the Southern accent. There's no wondering where she's from. That's for sure. There's no wondering where she's from. She is Alabama.
All my fellow Alabamians and our visitors to come by and check it out.
Check out that big, massive flag.
Y'all, there's no better time to be an American than today.
Oh, there's no better time to be an American than today. Well, look, I like being an American when you compare it to everywhere else in the world. So, yeah, it's good. I like being an American. I'm glad I was born here. But she said there's no better time to be an American than it is today. I don't know. I think the late 80s and the early 90s were pretty good. I don't want to get into an argument with the governor. She's obviously smarter than me. Maybe she knows things about today that I don't know about. Or maybe it's that I have to buy my gas and she doesn't. But nonetheless, I think the late 80s were... But anyway, look, I don't want to argue with her. She says today is the best time to be an American.
And there's no better time to be an Alabamian than right now.
Now, I don't know about that. Look, it's good. I like being an Alabamian right now, but I think the Nick Saban years when Nick Saban was coaching Alabama might have been just a little bit better. Maybe just a little bit better.
Former United States Secretary of State and our fellow Alabamian Condoleezza Rice says that one of the greatest parts of our country is that we were constantly striving to be a more perfect union.
Yes.
Think about that.
I will.
That is how our founding fathers intended it some 250 years ago.
To strive.
In the United States, everyone can have a dream and achieve it. In the United States, our God-given freedoms are protected by those brave men and women in our armed forces.
Yes.
In the United States, our opportunity is limitless. So let's keep striving to be a more perfect union.
Let's.
Let us pledge to keep America strong. And that starts with teaching our kids to love this country every chance we get.
All right. So an urging of teaching the children to love the country. Yes, Kay Ivey. She, a lot of use of the word y'all in the speech. There's been several uses, and I think there's more to come. look, I'm going to take a timeout. She doesn't talk much longer. I've got just a little bit more of Kay Ivey that I'm going to share with you, and then more Uncle Henry Show. Also have a caller. Caller, if you want to, I'll put you on the air right when we come back from the break, if you'd like to hang on. Caller. 251-479-2723, the telephone number. The Uncle Henry Show proceeding forward as we head toward the Memorial Day weekend.
From the Spring Hill Toyota Traffic Center.
Getting word of a crash on South Blue Angel Parkway at Triad Boulevard. Congestion is developing east on I-10 from 9 Mile Road to I-110. It's an 11-minute drive. Still very slow on the Bayway, east on I-10 from I-65 to the Eastern Shore. Add an extra 50 minutes of drive time. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report is sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help you troubleshoot the likely cause of your pest.
YouTube viewers, if there's any, thank you for looking. I do appreciate that very much. Before I check to see if there's YouTube viewers, I need to correct a bumper music issue. All of the software will be changing in early June, and I will no longer be adjusting the broadcast music like this. See, I fixed that. What it is? Does the next thing need to be fixed? No. All right. There we go. Let me check the YouTube viewers and see if there's anybody looking. And yes, there's a tiny number of people watching. Hello to 69-year-old Chris of West Loxley. Bama Big Man. Sharon of Fairhope. Pat Nelly. Reassuring to see Pat Nelly or someone claiming to be him in the chat. Richard Harvey. JD correctly pointing out that our gas prices are lower than other states. Other states worser. Other states are worser. KP of shirtbutter.com, who went to see the new children's movie about the little gremlin or whatever that thing is. Thank you all. I appreciate very much you looking in on the program. Let's see. I wish I had something fun to tell you about in the break. Going to be back on the radio in about 2 minutes. And, of course, I'm going to look at the weird news file so that I will be interested. Let's see. A man in West Virginia, unidentified so far, has been arrested for misuse of 911. A report from the Randolph County Sheriff's Office in West Virginia says the man repeatedly called 911 and got deputies dispatched to his house over and over and over again to investigate reports of zombies, ghosts, and a UFO. Eventually held on a $2,500 cash-only bond. All right, so unfortunately, this is a sad story. It's in the weird news file because of why he called 911. But this is, I used to have callers. There was a lady that would call the Uncle Henry Show, and other Mobile talk shows back in the 1980s that thought that there was someone living under her house. It was sad. Somebody needed to help this. Somebody needs to help the man that's calling about zombies.
Blinds shouldn't be complicated or stressful. That's why we make it simple and affordable. You measure, you install,
and then it looks like you did it.
Its installation is easy, and we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
Roll Tide. This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
This is the Uncle Henry Show. News headlines coming up in 10 minutes. Before I get back to the wonderful governor, do have a caller. Hello, caller.
Afternoon, Henry. How are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you, sir?
I'm good. There's no step too high for a high stepper when it comes to the governor.
That is true. That is true.
I called to have, when you started playing this, I thought about that. I also, along the same lines of...
Oh, no. Now, I hope he... Please, look, the guy held on for like a lifetime. Sir, please try to call back. If you can gain control of your cellular device, please call back and tell me what it was. I'm wondering if Kay Ivey sparked something in his head, and he had to tell us. 251-479-2723, the telephone number. The poor man's phone. I did not hang up on the caller. And I get a feeling that he didn't hang up on himself, that it was some type of who knows what. I hope all is well in his household. While I'm waiting to see if the guy calls back, we were listening to lovely Kay Ivey giving a speech today. There was a ceremony up in Montgomery, our state capital, where she was talking about the 250th anniversary of the United States of America. Our 250th birthday is this year, and it was the America 250 celebration in Montgomery. Kay Ivey was... Wait, he's back. Hello, you're back.
Yes, sir. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
No, like I say, I was calling to request if you still have it in your archives, being patriotic like today with Governor Ivey and distinctive voices. Do you still have in your archives Senator Heflin when he spoke from the House floor one day about the flag? Do you still have that in your archives?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I think it'd be good to play that along this time of year and coming into July 4th, especially the 250th. And like I say, that's another very distinct Alabama voice. A lot of people don't get to hear anymore much.
I will be glad. I always play it on Flag Day because he's talking about the flag. I will gladly. I'm always looking for an excuse to play the Hal Heflin audio, so I will absolutely get to it before the end of the hour.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for listening. And there he goes. All right. Yeah, and it was Hal Heflin used to have a radio show. Well, I'll get to that before the end of the hour. Some wonderful Hal Heflin sounds. Hello, caller.
Hi.
Hey, you are live on the radio.
I like Kay Ivey.
Well, good.
People try to make up unbelievable mean rumors. I don't believe about her that she's secretly a lesbian.
Well, yeah, that is so disgusting that people are sleazebags like that. I don't know why anybody
You're
would.
Right.
Why do people do these horrible things? It's got to be demon possession.
Because they have meanness in their heart. But you know what? If she was, I wouldn't mind. Because she likes what I like.
Hey, all right, enough of that. You young people, you think you can just talk about human relations like this casually. Look, when you call this show, pretend you're calling a radio show in the 1960s or the 70s or something, where people had manners and they didn't talk about things that happen behind closed doors. There's some things that don't need to be talked out, that don't need to be referred to, that never need to be talked about outside of a bedroom. Consenting adults can have these conversations behind a door which is closed. And I ain't talking about some glass door or a half door or a screen door or any of these newfangled doors. By the way, I don't like the trend. You see all these big homes and they have these glass doors and things? What are you, just begging to be home invaded with these things? What are you doing? No! Keep that talk among consenting adults off the radio, away from the ears of children, away from the ears of strangers. Nobody this man wanted to call up and to talk about what he liked. Kay Ivey likes what I like. Well, you're sick to think that we want to know what you like. I don't want to think of you as a being below the waist. I don't even want to know what you got going on below your waist. I'd like to think of you as a Ken doll. All right, listeners, I apologize, but I'm just sick. I'm just sick of the way that modern society's gotten so filthy. You turn on TV, and it's on the TV, and people are saying cuss words and all. Can't we just have some decorum in this land? I accidentally hung up on that person because I was so upset about this weirdo wanting to say, oh, well, if she leans in that direction, well, I like that. You're sick. You're sick to want to tell me about it. Hello, caller. All right, enough of that. All right, see, there's where we are. That's where somebody calls in about some type of lesbian rumor. And once we get onto that, here comes there's a different degree of mental illness that follows in after it. And it's somebody that wants to pretend they're a cartoon or is on some type of drug or something like that. It just creates a cascade effect, a domino effect. And before you know it, the show is right down the toilet. And I'm swimming in there with all the freaks. I know a good mental palate cleanse would be to continue with the speech of Kay Ivey. I've got a little bit more Kay Ivey from the celebration this morning. Here she is talking about Alabama and the United States of America during our 250th year.
Y'all, we are blessed to live in the greatest state in the greatest nation on earth.
Yes.
And I remain humbled to serve my fellow Alabamians as governor.
Yes.
Thank you again for joining me as we kick off this historic moment. May God continue to bless each of you.
Thank you.
The great state of Alabama.
Yes.
And these United States of America.
Yes!
Y'all, we can all be glad our home is here in America.
Yes!
And I sure am proud my home is in Alabama.
Yes!
So with that, let me bring up the man behind the tune, my dear friend, Mr. Randy Owen of Alabama.
And here's a little bit of Randy Owen to take us to break. Randy Owen still able to walk on his own.
Are you southern born and southern bred? Gonna feel good.
Back after the break.
Word of a crash on South Blue Angel Parkway at Triad Boulevard. Congestion is developing east on I-10 from 9 Mile Road to I-110. It's an 11-minute drive. Still very slow on the Bayway. East on I-10 from I-65 to the Eastern Shore. Add an extra 50 minutes of drive time. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report is sponsored by Brad vs. Everyone podcast.
Dangerous social media trends, media scandals.
All right. Is we got to, we've gone too far with the podcast. There's too many of them. Yeah, I saved you from the commercial.
Call the Acadian Windows traffic tip line at pound 250, keyword total traffic when prompted. Acadian Windows, your hurricane protection specialists.
I'm Cameron Taylor with Fox 10 News. A 65-year-old Louisiana woman is dead after a multi-vehicle crash on I-10 in Baldwin County. State troopers say Carolyn Hunt Loga of Slidell was driving on the Bayway near US 90 last night when a Dodge pickup hit her car, sending it into a tractor-trailer. Hunt Loga died at the scene. The pickup driver and a passenger in the Mazda were both airlifted to a hospital. Troopers are still investigating. In Montgomery, the celebration of America's 250th birthday is officially underway. Governor Kay Ivey hosting the America 250 Alabama ceremony on the Capitol steps, unveiling a special edition of the U.S. flag. It'll hang from the Capitol columns all summer. Among the performers today, Alabama's Randy Owen played for the crowd. 4 F-35 fighter jets then flew over the Capitol to close out the event, kicking off the countdown to July 4th. As we head toward hurricane season, NOAA says this year's Atlantic season is most likely to be below normal, but we still need to be ready. The new outlook calls for 8 to 14 named storms, 3 to 6 hurricanes, and 1 to 3 major hurricanes, fewer than an average year. Forecasters point to a developing El Nino in the Pacific, which can increase wind shear and disrupt storms in the Atlantic. But warmer than normal ocean temps could still fuel dangerous systems. The season runs June 1st through November 30th. I'm Cameron Taylor with Fox 10 News on this iHeartRadio station.
This is News Radio 710 WNTM.
This is a Fox News alert. I'm Tom Graham. Two-time NASCAR Cup Series champion Kyle Busch has died. That's according to NASCAR. He was 41 years old. No cause of death was given. President Trump continues to insist Iran must abandon its nuclear ambitions as part of any permanent ceasefire deal. He wants Tehran to turn over nuclear material as well.
We don't need it. We don't want it. We'll probably destroy it after we get it, but we're not going to let them have it.
Talks with Iran are ongoing as President Trump continues to hold off on re-escalating the conflict. Now, the president's Capitol Arch moving one step closer to becoming a reality.
The U.S. Commission of Fine Arts approving the design for the triumphal arch President Trump wants to build in Washington, D.C. The revised design includes lowering the overall height to about 250 feet.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin there. America's listening to Fox News.
Back on the radio in about 2.5 minutes. Let me see. We've got a few people watching. Bama Big Man, KP. $69-year-old Chris, and all the thank you for sticking with the program despite this sickness that keeps trying to attack it. I think it's getting worse. The older I get, the worser it's getting, because the freaks can tell that I've only got a few years left, and they feel like I'm like the weak animal. I'm the weak animal at the back of the herd, and they're coming after me. Or let's see, in the weird news file. I did like this. This is a weird news story. You may have already heard this one. This out of Kansas. A couple bought a truck. They bought a brand new Ford F-250 Super Duty. And so the couple wants their truck. But a robin, this is right outside of Kansas City, a robin built a nest on a tire, on one of the tires, and laid 4 eggs on the tire, and the eggs have hatched. And under the Migratory Bird Treaty Act, federal law, the dealership cannot move the truck and cannot move the nest until the baby birds fly away on their own. You know, these, look, I've got nothing against birds, but give me a break.
On News Radio 710 WNTM. This is News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show proceeding forward here on this Thursday. You can also hear me on FM radio. I'm on 95 KSJ. Monday through Friday, playing today's hottest country. You can hear me from 10 to 2, Monday through Friday on 95 KSJ. Now, tomorrow on 95 KSJ, it is Floribama Fishing Friday. Floribama. The Floribama has a fishing rodeo every year, June 5th, 6th, and 7th, the Floribama Fishing Rodeo. All kind of categories like catfish, billfish, spearfish, and they got every kind of category you can think of in their fishing rodeo. And tomorrow on 95 KSJ, we're going to be giving away Floribama Fishing Prize Packs, where you can get 2 adult entries to that fishing rodeo, 2 kid entries into that fishing rodeo, and a $50 Floribama gift card. I'm going to be giving away a Floribama Fishing Prize Pack tomorrow at 11:15 on 95 KSJ, 11:15 in the morning. I'll be giving away another one of them at 1:15 in the afternoon tomorrow. And Shelby Mitchell, she's going to be giving away Floribama Fishing Prize Packs during her show tomorrow afternoon. So we'll be giving out Floribama Fishing Prize Packs all day long tomorrow on 95 KSJ, number 1 for today's best country. Now, coming up on the Uncle Henry Show this half hour, I did have a request. We had the man call in the last segment of the show asking me to play some Hal Heflin just to hear that Southern accent. So I'll get to that in the next segment of the show. But I do have some messages to get to on the Uncle Henry Show. 251-479-2723, the telephone number. That's 251-479-2723. Email address, unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. Let's see, got this message this afternoon.
Hey, Henry. You know, I am a Trump supporter.
Yes.
But I'm getting a little nervous. I just kind of feel like he has painted himself into a corner with the Iran situation. It just appears to me that he doesn't know exactly what to do. I know that don't sound like Trump, but I think he's concerned that he's darned if he does and darned if he don't. You know, I think he's hesitant about going in there and blowing them off the face of the earth. But he can't sit still. If he sits still, the last 2 years of his administration are going to be nothing but one. You know, they're going to be on his case for the whole 2 years trying to impeach him. They'll impeach him for everything.
Right.
They'll impeach him for spitting on the sidewalk.
Yes.
You name it, and they'll impeach him for it.
Yes.
So I just hope he can get things cleared up PDQ pretty darn quick. I mean, the American people aren't caring where the trouble come from. The Democrats had handed him this plate, and he made his own bed with Iran. But I'm talking about our economy. If he don't straighten that up, then people vote their wallet. I don't care what anybody says. They vote their wallet. I just hope for Trump he can do something. He can pull a rabbit out of his hat. Okay, I'll shut up. Have a good day, Henry. Bye-bye.
Well, hey, sir, thank you for the voicemail. Now, if you'd like to leave a voicemail message, you can, 251-479-2. Well, the voicemail number is 251-216-1976. That's 251-216-1976 to leave a message for the Uncle Henry Show. And I don't know if he doesn't know exactly what to do or not. Certainly, I mean, there are a lot of people trying to get him to do different things. He's lots of options are out there for him, no doubt about it. There's a lot of options out there. A lot of people trying to think through what is the best course there. But I understand where you're coming from on this. I don't feel like it will stay the same, of course, for the next 2 years. And I tell you, if he can pull a rabbit out of his hat, if he can get us out of this without having us have to stay there for many, many years to come, that would be like pulling a rabbit out of a hat. Because one of the things he ran on, he didn't run saying that he wasn't going to start wars or anything like that. He said no forever wars. And we have been involved in some ridiculously long conflicts over there that people don't have a stomach for. If he can get us, if we can be out of there in the next few months or within a year, that would be, to me, that would be an amazing accomplishment to get out of there and not be worse for the wear. So, but what does that path look like? I don't know. I do not know. But, sir, thank you for your call. A lot of people concerned in the same way. Hello, caller.
Hello, Uncle Henry.
Yes, sir. You are live on the radio.
Hey, man, I called to about a topic you were talking about yesterday about the this primary election that we had day before yesterday. I voted and all, but I was confused and I needed a little help with somebody to process with. I don't know. Hopefully, you can help me here.
All right. Well, what kind of processing problems are you having?
So, for about 2 weeks now, my social media, one of the social medias has blown me up with things about saying how Democrats, or not Democrats, but the electorate needs to elect more minority representation, black representation, has to, they're so upset that it's being diminished in this state and other states with this redistricting, and the electorate just isn't being fair. And so we have this primary, and it's basically a closed primary. You ask for a Democrat ballot or a Republican ballot. And from what I could see, Democrats went in Alabama and selected an old white man as their gubernatorial candidate by 73 percentage points, and there were 3 black candidates on the ballot. And I can't figure out, if they're telling us to do this, why don't they go first?
You're wondering why, if it is that important that there is representation, African American representation, why would they vote for an old white dude like Doug Jones? That's your question, right?
Yes, sir. I need some help.
Well, I don't know if I'm the right person to analyze this. I can say that it on the surface, it looks like maybe the color of skin wasn't the most important thing to these voters. Because you're right. If it were the most important thing, they would have voted for a candidate of color. Hey, think about this. Think about the Democrats of the past. A lot of black Alabama Democrats ended up voting for George Wallace at the end of his career. I mean, think about that. Think about that.
Yeah, it confuses me when I do think about things like that. I just can't understand it. And one more point while I'm on the phone while you took my call. The Congressional Black Caucus and Hakeem Jeffries the NAACP is calling for black athletes in the South, the SEC basically, to not commit to these colleges that dominate and are great colleges to go to and put off. Basically, it's a career at this point with the pay. Why not now? I'm watching the SEC baseball tournament. There's plenty of black athletes there that are making contributions that are probably happy to be there. Their team likes them there. Why not do it right now? Why not tell them to sit out right now? And all kinds of. It's just insane to me what these people call for.
Well, and again, you have to as you're pointing out, you're wondering, do they really mean what they're saying? How much of it do they really mean? These political leaders, and how much of it is just to put on a show? And more importantly, to raise money from donors. There's more show. Some thick Southern accent coming up.
Crews have been on the scene of a crash on Blue Angel Parkway at Triad Boulevard. We have some slowing on Highway 31 from Spanish Fort to Highway 59, 14-minute drive. Very slow on the Bayway, east on I-10. From I-65 to the Eastern Shore, tack on an extra 45 minutes of drive time. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report is sponsored by Staples. It's Staples' 40th anniversary, and they've got deals worth celebrating.
YouTube viewers, if you're still there, thank you for looking at the show. Let me take a quick look. Reactivating the YouTube on my desktop. And there are a small number of people watching. Thank y'all for looking in on the program. Let's see, what can I tell you? A woman has broken a record by mowing a football field in 15 minutes. This was to get in the Guinness Book of World Records. The woman goes by the name the Lawn Queen. The Lawn Queen. She is described as a turf influencer. You know, I just wished I'd been smart enough to figure out what type of influencer I could become. I wished I could have specialized a few years ago as being some type of influencer. Because there's money in it. The Lawn Queen, a turf influencer, mowed a football field-sized area in under 15 minutes Saturday. She drove a riding mower powered by a 41 horsepower engine. She did the mowing job in 14 minutes and 51 seconds. And was selected through a nationwide search. Is something wrong that I don't care to be in the Guinness Book of World Records? You know, there are a lot of people around the world that'll spend years trying to get into the Guinness Book of World Records. Am I not ambitious enough? Is that it? It doesn't appeal to me. Half of the records I wouldn't want. Like longest fingernails or something like that. Longest beard. Let's see, there is a town well, now I've lost my story I was going to tell you about. There's a town in Michigan. It's unincorporated. It's a hamlet. It is located in Putnam Township near Pinckney, Michigan. And it is called this little spot on the map is called Hale. Hell, Hale, Michigan. And if you wanted to buy it, it's now for sale. The price is $625,000. So if you want to buy that, $625,000. They tried to sell it a few years ago for $900,000. Nobody bought it for $900,000, so they've dropped the price. I guess this is good news. The price of Hale is going down. Maybe that's bad news. I don't know. I have to think it through.
Broadcasting. This is News Radio 710 WNTM, an iHeartRadio station.
This is the Uncle Henry Show. News headlines coming up in 10 minutes. Now, I had somebody ask. Somebody called in and asked me to play some Hal Heflin so they could just hear the Southern accent, just like I played Kay Ivey earlier. Before I do that, just a quick shout out from 69-year-old Chris. He had a daughter go through a graduation today.
Roll Tide, Uncle. Hey, Uncle, I want to give a shout out to my daughter, Sarita. She finished school today at Robertsdale Elementary. She's gone there. She just completed the 5th grade. She's gone there since pre-K.
Nice.
And unfortunately, in a way, but fortunately too, she's going to have to be changing schools to finish up elementary because they built a new Loxley Elementary School.
Yeah.
And of course, good thing about it is she's got some of her friends live here in the same neighborhood as us, and us being in Loxley, they're going to have to go to that school over there. But that's all right. I told her, I said, hey, you'll be in the inaugural 6th grade graduation class. So there you go.
Yeah.
Anyhow, the lady announced this morning, went up there to the awards show, and she says, out of 1,000 students at Robertsdale Elementary, 25 had perfect attendance for the entire year, and Miss Sarita was one of them. And they was awarded with a medal, you know, to hang around your neck, look kind of Olympian style, I guess you'd say.
Nice.
And also, one of the local eating establishments gave them all a free kids meal to come there and eat and everything. So, right proud of her for that, Uncle. And had straight B's, as in baby, on the report card there. So, right proud of her. I went to Sonic and bought her a Oreo cookie shake there just a little bit ago. So, anyhow, thought I'd run all that by you, let you know what was going on. Looks like we're going to have some weather. You take it easy now.
Hey, 69-year-old Chris, congratulations on your daughter doing so well in school and perfect attendance. Just congratulations to you on that and your family. Now, before I'm out of time, we had the man earlier ask me to play some Hal Heflin just so we could get that Southern accent on the air for posterity. The late Alabama Senator Hal Heflin, here he is on his old radio show reciting a poem about the American flag.
One of these groups, the ambassadors from Gadsden, called the Gadsden Ambassadors, who are led by H.M. Freeman, cut a record which includes a patriotic melody telling one man's story about the American flag. It seems that there was a man who visited a small town for the first time and talked to an old man sitting on a park bench. He told a story like this. I walked through a county courthouse square one day. On a park bench, an old man was sitting there. I said, your flagpole has leaned a little bit, and that's a ragged old flag you got hanging on it. He said, "Have a seat, son," and so I sat down. And he said, "We don't like to brag, but we're kind of proud of that ragged old flag. You see, we got a hole in that flag there when Washington took her across the Delaware, and she got powder burns the night that Francis Scott Key sat watching her and writing, 'Oh, say, can you see?' She got a bad rip down in New Orleans with Pakenham and Jackson tugging at her seams. She almost fell at the Alamo beside the Texas flag, but she waved on through. The south wind blew hard on that ragged old flag. On Flanders Field in World War I, she got a big hole from a burp gun. She turned blood red in World War II. She hung limp and low a time or two. She was in Korea and Vietnam. She went where she was sent by her Uncle Sam. She's been dishonored, denied, burned, and refused. Yes, she's growing threadbare, and she's wearing thin, but she's in good shape for the shape she's in. Because she's been through the fire before, I believe that she can take a whole lot more. So we'll raise her up every morning, and we'll take her down every night. No, son, we don't even let her touch the ground. We fold her up just right. On second thoughts, son, I do like to brag, because I'm mighty proud of that ragged old flag.
Thank you, Senator. This has been the Heflin Senate Report with Senator Howell Heflin. This program was brought to you from Washington, D.C. as a public service by this station.
Yes, indeed. Back in the day where we had radio shows from the senators. All right, coming up, there is more Uncle Henry Show after the news break. In fact, right after the news break, I'm going to interview a Marine, A.J. Paschuti. A.J. Paschuti is a Marine. He joined the Marines at age 17 right after 9/11. He went into the infantry, and he went on 7 deployments during the War on Terror. He's written a memoir about his time in the Marines called Dark Horse. We're going to talk about that book coming up after the news break on the Uncle Henry Show.
I'm Chad Pergram with the Speaker's Lobby. 2 recent legal rulings serve as a double whammy for Democrats as they try to flip control of the House, and Republicans are bullish.
YouTube viewers, thank you for looking. I will be back tomorrow unless I can figure some scheme to get out of it. I'll be back tomorrow at the regular time here on YouTube with you for the Friday edition of the Uncle Henry Show. Have a pleasant evening and a pleasant tomorrow.
For justices who would rule in their favor. Virginia House Republican leader Terry Kilgore called that, quote, insane. Democratic Maryland Senator Angela Alsobrooke says her state should have proceeded with redistricting, knocking out the sole GOP member from the Eastern Shore, Freedom Caucus Chairman Andy Harris. Quote, I believe we had an opportunity to do that, said Alsobrooke. Now Republicans are expanding redistricting further. New maps are coming in Alabama, South Carolina, and in 2028, Georgia. With the Speaker's Lobby, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
Well, now that we're here in warmer weather, it's definitely grilling season. Uncle Henry here to remind you that Greer's has everything you need to grill and grill like a grill master. Greer's always has quality food at everyday low prices, a wonderful selection of high-quality meats, and you can even find Lucy Greer's grilled meats recipes at Greers.com. Grilling season and Greer's go together.
And remember, Greer's got it. We guarantee it.
When you look your best, you feel your best. At Advanced Dermatology and Skincare Center, our board-certified dermatologists are here to help you look and feel your best. From